So you joined the team halfway through the season. What were you expecting when you got here? What did you learn? Kind of what are your impressions now that it's over?
When I got traded here, I was happy to be in a new environment, new situation. Really didn't know what to expect. Just came in open-headed, clear-headed, willing to do whatever the team asked me to do to help win ball games. And it was a fun process the whole time. I think, I didn't have any expectations of how the season would go or anything, but I wanted to really get in the playoffs and make it happen. And the team was playing good when I arrived here, and we just kept it going. Had some momentum going into the postseason, so I was pleased with that.
What impact has joining the Jazz had on your game and your development as a player, just even in the few months you've been in this organization?
Well, obviously it got me back to being a free-minded basketball player. I was able to play free and within how Coach Quinn wanted me to play. I have a lot of improvement to do that I can get better at and be more aggressive on both ends of the court. Once I have a full summer and full preseason with the group, with the coaches, and know even more what to expect and what they expect out of me. So I'm looking forward to that, and I see nothing but a lot of upside on myself and our unit.
Jay, just along those lines, do you plan on spending a substantial amount of time here working with coaches, and what are some of the things that you think you can improve on and be more aggressive at?
In the off season, I have a trainer of my own, but of course, I'll be back and forth from working with him and working with our coaches, taking what I work with my coaches back to the person I work with, and applying it to my workouts and asking Coach what he wants me to do to get better and what should I bring to the table next year. And so I will have a relationship with the organization and my coaching staff throughout the summer, and I will be back and forth between my home in Florida and here in Salt Lake throughout the summer.
Jay, Dennis Lindsey mentioned the increasing physicality in the playoffs and the need that the team saw to bring in guys that can kind of play that way. Obviously, that's not the only reason you were brought in, but how do you feel you are able to contribute to the team in that way and that kind of physical nature of the game? Yeah,
well, I've been blessed to play in the playoffs every year. I've been in the NBA sub-1. It's a very fun part of our season as basketball players, and what I've taken from it is your level of play has to rise, not only just your stats and anything like that, but just your physicality and the brutal, constant pounding throughout the playoffs. And I think I've molded myself into being able to be a player to depend on in the playoffs and depend on bringing it every night, especially in the playoffs. And I just think my teammates feed off of that. Not only just here, but in my previous years, I've been the guy to hang my hat on, playing hard and being tough and being able to sustain a playoff basketball game. And I think my teammates and peers will say they feed off it a little bit.
Jay, what are some of the challenges when you get traded mid-season to just have to adapt right away as opposed to having a full off-season to understand what the team's going to be asking of you and what your role is going to be?
Well, obviously your role is condensed a little bit because you don't know all of the concepts. You don't know. You learn a lot of stuff on the fly. I just think it's a process with being comfortable with a new setting, a new group, but my teammates welcomed me with open arms, and it made the process here much easier than I anticipated. But it can be a challenge for sure because you're just trying to cram a lot of stuff mentally, physically on yourself in a short span of time. So I just think with my coaching staff and my teammates, we did a good job of bringing me along the way. I should say, and keeping me up to date with stuff. But I was still learning stuff. Come playoff time, just not even major stuff, but just small stuff that the team may know that they picked up in training camp, stuff like that. You know, it takes a great deal of time to get acclimated to such a system, and it'll be much better next year. I'll be much more vocal because I will know what to do. I guess you could say I can be much more of a leader in that aspect of knowing what to do and knowing what Coach Quinn wants me to do and how he wants things done. So I think we made it work for the most part, and we have a lot of stuff to get better at.
In terms of the team, what do the Jazz have to get better at? You've been around good teams and played against really good teams. Where are the Jazz ranked right now, and what can fill that gap?
Well, obviously, you want to have as many playmakers as you can on a basketball team, and I think the league is turning into a playmaking type, up and down type, flow type game. So I feel like we as a team need to continue to get better in playmaking and putting players in situations to make plays for one another, and also add if there's anything that the organization sees that we need to add, we should add it. I think we should keep our defense intensity. We've been #1 or top 5 in the league in defense all year. I think we can definitely hang our hats on that and continue to strive to get better and be the best defensive team in the league. But I feel like we have what it takes. We're in the right direction. We have a lot of young talent. We should continue to get better.
I guess one, are you gonna with Cleveland and Boston being in the Eastern Conference Finals? Is that any interest in yours at all in terms of watching? And then in terms of kind of intangible, you talked about tangible things, but in terms of intangible things, are there things that maybe those teams have that that allow them to be successful that maybe a younger team like you guys need to get to that point?
Yeah, they're playing in the Eastern Conference. It makes a difference. I mean, this conference is very tough. First of all, and we all know that. But those are two great teams, well-coached teams. I think the biggest difference is they're playing in a different conference, to be honest with you, when it comes down to it. But they have playmakers. They're well-coached. They have playmakers. They have shot makers, and they know exactly what they want to do on both ends of the court. I can say that about both teams. They know exactly what they want to do, and it's about imposing their will, and they do a good job of it, both teams. So I'll be tuned in, of course, when the time comes to watch both, as I know both teams and and what they're both looking for. So it'll be fun to watch. But I just think the biggest difference is just the conferences is a major factor in that question.
Okay. Jay, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.